Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Cassidy or Starr and I'm a Light Renegade, part of a collective of Pleiadian beings, bringing you information from the veil beyond. Apologies that I've been off a few days. I haven't been very well. I'm still not back to full health, as you can hear, so do bear with me for this message. Today we have another message from Diana, the former Princess of Wales. If this is your first time here, you might want to go back and start from the beginning of our series with her. She's been telling her story, she has been divulging information about her life, about the royal family, and her as a, what do I want to say, a light being. Diana very much considers herself to be a light worker, a angel here on earth, a galactic at heart. So you might want to go back and start at the beginning of the series, but if you find yourself here and you feel ready to be partaking here, then of course please do. What did I want to begin with? I feel called to share something that I haven't yet. I realized I'd written it in a comment reply to someone, but I haven't actually kind of acknowledged it here. So I wanted to share that I have had a few conversations with the late Queen Elizabeth, and before any of this started, before I started to channel Diana properly, the day that I found out the Queen had passed, she did come to me. She came to me and just was there to apologize. She just said, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And at that time, which I'm really kind of embarrassed to share, was that I was just really angry. I was so angry. I was so, I think, I'm going to just admit it. I was just glad. I was glad that, her time had come to pass, which obviously sounds horrific. And I understand that. So there has been a conversation and an apology that I've had with Queen Elizabeth to sort of, say my apologies. And I think that just goes to show kind of my growth, and I'm not the same. Every day I feel like I'm changing, every day I feel like I'm growing, especially now. And I was really embarrassed by my response to her. I was really embarrassed for my sense of relief. I consider everyone to be of light, and I really try and hold love and compassion for everyone. So I really had to take a step back and sort of check myself, really. And I felt called to share that today because I feel like there is a level of communication, there is a level of respect that is happening with sharing these messages. I realize there's kind of a synergy. There is another channel that is channeling Queen Elizabeth, which I haven't watched all their videos just because I haven't felt called to, and I didn't want any information to kind of, muddy what I'm channeling, but I am following them and I see their videos pop up, and I realize that there is a synergy happening between Diana and Elizabeth, and I think there is a level of respect that Diana is sort of not lagging behind, but I think so. I think she is not wanting to share anything that the Queen hasn't already shared, and I think that is a sign of respect. I think that is a sign of her knowing where the Queen is in her journey and wanting to give her that space and that room to expand and make amends, because I think Diana acknowledges just how huge all of this is, just how huge this whole transition is, and from a higher level perspective they are equal now, and there is a level of seeing eye to eye. So I found that really beautiful and something worth pointing out right now. So I do have a message from Diana, and this is a Q&A. This is a very short Q&A that I've had with her. There was kind of an introductory message, and then I asked a few questions because I felt like that it was just time, and there were some things that I wanted to clear up, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions that you all have too. So I think we're starting to get to the Q&A side of things, and for us to be able to pick oh my gosh, so sorry, for us to be able to pick things out a little deeper. But I'll go ahead with the introductory message from Diana. Dear, sweet, beautiful, kind souls, I would like to thank you for your patience with me, at this great time of change. There has been a lot going on behind the scenes that this fractal of me has had to endure, not only for my own soul's growth, but also to help you all still here, living out this lifetime under the notion of overthrowing the dark forces at play. To confirm, I would like to state that my messages here are to shed light upon the reptilian regime that has been at play for thousands of years. I'm telling my story because it is time now to shed light where there was once only darkness. I wish to say to all those present here now, thank you. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your light. And most of all, thank you for your energy. The energy that you are putting out into the world at this time. Your planet truly does need you, and you are not insignificant. Each and every one of you here holds such a crucial element to bring into this new fabric of existence that we are all creating together. So keep shining your light and working through your personal shadows and strife. Nothing you are purging or seemingly enduring or up against at this time is in vain. You are molding the new reality of the 5D. There's a lot of energy happening right now. I have been purging a lot over these past 4 or 5 days that I've been off, and I really felt like I was going through another sort of ascension, another rebirth. So I think maybe some of you are really feeling that energy, so please be kind to self. Diana really wanted to acknowledge that there was a huge shift happening right now. When she came to speak to me today, she kind of led with this notion of everything has shifted, something major has shifted, and I think we've kind of reached that tipping point of this new level that we're going through, and that makes complete sense. I think I'm going to start doing some more videos moving forward kind of on energy work, just because I think that it's particularly tricky right now. But yeah, I will carry on. So I said thank you, Diana, for that introduction, and I felt like she was ready for a few questions. So I said, I kind of wanted to circle back to the last message that we had. So the last message, Diana kind of divulged that Charles had revealed himself to be not of this world, kind of something a little bit different. And I know that he's a reptilian, so I've just point blankly asked, how did you feel after Charles revealed to you that he was reptilian? What exactly happened after that? You might want to go back and watch my previous video. But Diana sort of recalls an incident where they were together and Charles kind of showed his true face to her. So this is her response to that and to my question. And she says, well, what can you do? I wasn't shocked. You must remember, for as long as I could remember, I felt that something was just wrong. Wrong about the entire situation. I loved Charles, I did. At the beginning, it was seemingly perfect. I couldn't believe my luck. I was astounded he was interested in me, little old me. It felt like an honor. But as the months rolled by, I could sense it. I didn't want to believe it. I felt as though it was just my fear creeping up on me about it all. But I knew in my heart I knew that something wasn't right. But what could you do? Who was I to tell? I knew that no one would believe me. I barely believed myself. What you must understand is that all of it didn't seem real. Not any of it. I couldn't make sense of it. Not at all. How can you? Logically, this doesn't make sense. I knew all I could do was focus on my faith and get the facts right. There were things that I was starting to add up, the faces, the people, and the celebrations. There was always a party, always a celebration. That's something that gets missed in the outside world, is that the royals really do love a good party. And then I kind of moved on because I think a lot of you have a lot of questions about the person I'm about to talk about. And I asked Diana, did you kind of feel used at this time? Or did you think that something was going to change someday at the beginning of your relationship? And I said that I know many of you have a lot of questions about the Queen's consort Camilla, so I asked if she'd like to share anything about that at this time. And she says that Camilla was a great cover story, you see. Indeed, Charles did love her, and I was aware of that. But that story made a great cover for what was truly happening, my true unhappiness. I was trapped. I couldn't show any emotion. If I did, I seemed ungrateful. Ungrateful to be in the position I was in. The world was relying on me to be the pillar, the face of the people, and that's what they relied on. They knew I had nowhere else to go. And I very much get that sense of Diana when I do channel with her, and kind of the way that she's set up this story. It's like I'm very much in the room with her when she says and describes anything. I kind of see it in my mind's eye, and I can feel the energy of just feeling so isolated, just feeling really pushed out and alone, and like she didn't have anywhere to turn. I think, what was actually happening is it's just insane. And I myself, I'm struggling to even get my head around it some days, kind of in my own personal journey, but also with this, it's like I look around and I kind of think, how did I get here? So I cannot imagine exactly how she was feeling, because it was such a massive turnaround. And I do kind of understand this idea of just you look up one day and nothing's the same, because I think most of us feel like that. And I do truly feel that Diana's story is a story of awakening, is a story of ascension. She was living one life and then the next minute everything changed, and this whole new level of reality was forced upon her, and she just didn't know what to do with it. And I think we can all relate to that. That's kind of where we are right now. So I moved on and said, what of your children? What did you think after you realized Charles wasn't who you thought he was? And she said, I made it my priority to keep my children as safe as I could. But I wasn't aware of just how powerful this energy was. It was clear to me that my children had been divided. William loved me, I knew that, but the bond between Harry and myself was like no other. The sparkle in that child's eyes no one could deny. Even the powers that wished to overrule could see that he was a star in his own right. My children, I love them dearly, and I watch over both of them as much as I can in so many ways. But you must understand that I knew. Deep down I knew I'd lost part of them, a part I couldn't give them back, that they would never have a real childhood or life. I knew that and if I'm honest, that's what broke my heart greatly. I knew that it was my fault that they were born into this world, and some days that was my breaking point. And she moves on here to say, I wish to share here that the love a mother has for her child is like no other. It cannot be beaten. It cannot be moved, swayed, or shifted. It is a love that transcends all dimensions, desires, and selfishness. You are not yourself anymore. You do not matter. All that you care about is keeping those precious, beautiful little creatures safe. And that is all you think about in any waking moment of your existence. It overtakes all bounds that you ever felt before, any love that you have ever felt up until that moment. It is truly like nothing else. It was like nothing else that I had experienced, and I'm still so grateful to have my children, and the love that I have for both of them in my heart is so ever great and present, and I love them both equally. And that's where she signed off. I can really feel the emotion surrounding all of this, surrounding kind of looking back on all of this and where we are. And I was feeling great emotion over the past few days, and I realized that it wasn't a sadness that I was feeling, it was a relief, and a relief that we're finally here, a relief that finally the story's being told to the masses, a relief that we finally have proof, and you know, we're starting to make a real true change. And I realize that that's exactly how Diana's feeling. That's exactly how I think most of us are feeling right now, even if it's just on an energetic level. If this is your first time here and you don't know why you are here because you are making a difference and your light is shining out into the world at this time. So please go gentle, everyone, on self, because I think that a lot of emotion is going to be coming up right now. I truly didn't know what I was feeling over the past few days. Granted, I have been directly in a tsunami of snot, so I kind of wasn't with it for the past few days, but there was just a lot of purging of energy, a lot of having salt baths every night. I really have to just soak my body in water, because some days that's just the space that I feel safest in, to be honest with you. So I really had to pull my own energy back. I really had to kind of cut down my time and screen time and what I'm consuming, and just put all my focus into channeling my energy into this and to be purging anything that's coming up for me at this time, to make sure that I'm a clear vessel to share these messages. Like I said, I felt really embarrassed that I had shunned, you know, the Queen Mother, because of how my humanness felt, you know, and that is not how I feel. That's not how my soul sees kind of what is happening right now. I know that we are all in this together, every single one of us, and I have love for all the royal family that are still in existence right now, because I know that they are fighting too, in their own way, in their own space, in their own time. And I think a lot of us can kind of relay this message back to our own personal journeys. And I've had to find a lot of self-love and a lot of compassion for many people in my life that aren't ready to hear these truths, that weren't ready to hear what I had to say, weren't ready for me to kind of show up in this new light of me being this. You know, I was living a very different life, and everything changed for me, and I had to let go of a lot. And I think that's where a lot of you are right now. So please go easy on self. Please make sure that you are doing everything you can to self-soothe, to nurture yourself, to be looking after your inner child too. I think that's something that is really important at this time, with these huge shifts that's happening, with these great leaps in information that we are being divulged. I think it's really important that you take stock of how you're feeling and really self-monitor throughout the day. Like I said, every day I'm waking up kind of in a new mood and a new state, and that changes throughout the day. I'm ever evolving, and all of you out there are too. So please be mindful of that. Please be mindful of your energy and the spaces that you are in, and most importantly, what you are consuming at this time. Please make sure that you are trying to be as pure with everything that you are consuming, in terms of food, in terms of media. Listen to your self-guidance, trust yourself, and trust the knowing, trust the nudges that you are being guided towards too. I think it's really important to just trust exactly what your mind, body, soul is telling you to do and consume at this time. I really had to cut myself off. So again, thank you to those that have donated, because this is my line of work now. You know, I'm kind of working in these energy realms and sharing information with you. That is all I can manage. I haven't had what would be considered a normal job for this is my second year into that. I had to cut all work last year and focus on my healing, and focus on getting myself energetically to a point where I could channel like this for you. So your donations are very much appreciated at this time, and I thank you all for being here. And I think I'll be back again tomorrow, if not as soon as possible when Diana says that it is time. But I think we're going to continue with kind of these Q&As for a little while, and I do pick up on the energies of what you are all asking, so I'm trying to intuitively know what's right for Diana, what's right for us at this time, and being led in such a way that this is going to be kind of a smoother transition that we're trying to get through, and also relay of information. I think we're having to be very sensitive with others that are involved in this situation, those that are alive, those that have passed. So be patient, everyone. I know that we're sick of hearing that word. I myself am kind of sick of hearing that and saying it myself. So I appreciate it. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your time. I appreciate all of your comments. And yes, specifically your donations. Thank you again. But please take care, everyone. And hopefully I will be back again tomorrow.